right, thank you for being at the back to school night presentation for AP Human Geography. So we'll get us going here with our shared screen. And this is a very unique class. It is the only class at Half Moon Bay High School that is an advanced placement class for ninth graders. So it's going to be a unique challenge and a special year, but I hope this is a rewarding and fun experience for your son or daughter. A little bit about me. I'm Mr. Van Weingarten, super long last name, and so it's easier for me and the students if we just go by Mr. V. And I'm originally from San Luis Obispo. My dad taught at Cal Poly for over 35 years. So it was a really cool time growing up there. And then I went to college at San Diego State University, got my teaching credential there as well. And I've been here now for 7 years, and it's been a great time. I really like working for this administration. Great coworkers. And I know this sounds cliche, but I'm just going to say it anyway. The best part of this job is the students, and I really just feel super privileged to work with them and be part of this community. So let's take a look at human geography and what the course is basically all about. So I'll just kind of read this verbatim. AP Human Geography provides students the knowledge and skills that will better their understanding of geography by using geographic processes to study and understand patterns in their community, the nation, and the world. The course will focus on issues related to population, culture, politics, economics, agriculture, and the environment from a world perspective. Another interesting facet of the class is the freshman requirements that are inserted into the curriculum. That's why this summer assignment was focused on drugs, alcohol, and tobacco. And that's why we'll have a look at sex education and driver's education after the AP exam in May. Since neither one of those topics is actually on the AP exam, we'll give them undivided attention after the AP exam. So the driver's education part is particularly exciting for the students because that will help them attain their driver's permit and take them down the road to their driver's license. So there's two platforms we need to be aware of. I'm sure there are two platforms that most teachers are using. In fact, School Loop is used by all teachers. They are Google Classroom and School Loop. I routinely update scores in School Loop and post assignments in there as well on the calendar. And our learning platform that we use in class, in which all the assignments have attached files, PowerPoints, Google Slides, Google Docs, Word docs, video links, that is in Google Classroom. And I have posted material in there for several weeks in advance, so that way students can benefit from knowing their calendar, what to look forward to, how to manage their time better for all of their classes. And it's just part of my overall organizational package for everybody. So if you'd like to be part of the Google Classroom, I've already sent out invites to many parents, but if you feel like somehow I left you off, then please email me later and I can get you linked into it. AP exam. AP exam is an exciting component of our class. Basically, you can earn college credit while you're a freshman. Let me say that again, college credit as a freshman. I did not have that opportunity myself when I was taking advanced placement honors classes when I was in high school. So this is kind of a really, really cool opportunity for students while they're in ninth grade. So it's not mandatory. But I always tell students, if you're putting in the hard work, you're putting in the time, you're getting a B or higher in here, absolutely go for that test. Get the college credit now. Why not? Super rewarding. So the process in registering for that has steps to it and a deadline. The deadline is going to be October the 2nd. Our vice principal, Mrs. Tower, will be sending out an email about that as well. But I've already kind of jumped the gun on this to get you started. All students, whether they're going to take the AP exam or not, are required for transcript purposes to register in myap.collegeboard.org. And that is a current assignment right now in class. It takes about 5 minutes, and I'm giving students a whopping 20 points just for doing that. And then the further instructions for creating that account are here. And then once you create that account, you have the option of registering for the AP exam. There are costs associated with it. There are steps involved in the process, and the website takes you through that. So the steps and the process are right here in this link. In order to help prepare for that AP exam, which is difficult under any circumstances, but especially difficult this year with everything that's going on with our remote learning situation, please get one of the following books, either the Kaplan AP exam prep book or the Princeton Review. There are several other ones. I think Barron's has one that's pretty good as well. These are my two personal favorites. I notice this says 2016, this says 2015. I'd really recommend probably a 2018, 19, or a 20 edition. They're not going to radically change the curriculum from one year to the next, but try to get it within the last year or so, and I think that should cover most of it. These books really package the different units and chapters nicely as far as a review goes, but more importantly, they also include test-taking strategies and practice quizzes. So I'll try to be concise with this. The AP exam has two big parts to it. One's a 60-minute multiple choice section, which is kind of why I'm trying to keep that alive, that experience of testing during our remote learning even. And we have a 60-minute free response section. We'll look at some of the different types of questions that come up with those writing responses later in the second semester. Okay. And obviously the AP exam will not cover any of the sex, drugs, and rock and roll topics of drugs, alcohol, tobacco, sex ed, or driving into the tests they give out. All right, so if you're wondering if my son or daughter gets a 3 score out of 5, or will Stanford take it? Will Harvard take that score? Will San Francisco take that score? San Francisco State. I've included a link right here, basically, that shows the scores and whether your particular institution in question will accept that score for credit. So most private universities, the CSU and UC system, are accepting 3 scores and higher. Typical day. Typically, I like to ask a question at the start of the lesson that accesses students' prior knowledge, and that acts as a kind of a cool segue into pair shares and group discussions that make the curriculum that we're learning about a little more interesting and relevant to them. Then we move on to the lesson of the day. Ultimately, those lessons will be part of a larger test, which I facilitate through classmarker.com, and students have an account in that already. Reading is super important. This is our book, The Cultural Landscape. Make sure before a test, your son or daughter has actually read those chapters. Now, I'll be honest, I teach regular ed history classes as well, and it's conceivable that a student can actually go the entire semester without ever reading the book, just paying attention in class, just working hard, and they can get an A in the class. That's not an inconceivable thing. It is pretty inconceivable to do that in an AP class. So please have your son or daughter read the chapters. Right. Grades, I use a traditional grade scale. I'm not really going to read that again because we're all familiar with that kind of breakdown. There's 3 categories though, that of weighted grades that go into that, homework and classwork. I've combined it this year because of our unique remote learning situation. Is 40% tests and quizzes, 45%, and then closed Cornell Notes are 15%. What the heck are closed Cornell Notes? So many of the students are already familiar with the concept of Cornell Notes from Cunha Middle School, depending on who their teachers were, but some of them may not be. So we've already gone over this in class. There's instructions with it on the first several Cornell Note assignments in Google Classroom as well. And basically, the body of the notes is on the right-hand side, the right 2/3. And that is going to be fill in the blank, either in an editable Google Doc or Word doc, or the students can print them out ahead of time and use pen or pencil. They're going to write a main ID in the upper left corner, and then they're going to write study vocabulary questions on the left side. And then at the end, I have what are called closure response or summary questions that basically force the student to then read and review the notes. So the notes are extra beneficial to them in helping them prepare for quizzes and unit exams. All right, late work will only be accepted due to excused absence. You will have an equal number of days to complete missing assignments and tests or quizzes as you were absent. It is the student's responsibility to find out what work was missed during his or her absence. Everything is posted in Google Classroom and School Loop well in advance right now, several weeks, 5, 6, 7 weeks in advance. All week work turned in after it is due will be reduced by 50% earned credit. I have 3 basic rules, whether in a classroom or we're doing remote learning. That is be ready, be responsible, be respectful, dress appropriate to the dress code, show positivity, which they have been. I've been really, really, really just happy with how positive the students have been in their engagement with one another and with me, and it's been super awesome. Always be prepared to respond and participate. Extra credit from time to time will be offered to the whole class. It will not be offered on an individual per request basis, though. School Loop. Please feel free to check progress, assignments, communicate with me on School Loop. You could also get involved in Google Classroom, but the easiest way to communicate will be to directly email me. And I do frequently grade, so I do frequently keep that updated. So please check that out. All right. Well, again, thank you for being here this evening, which is not going to be the case for some of you who watch this during the afternoon, of course, but I appreciate that you check this out. I'm looking forward to a great year with your son or daughter, and I think we're going to have a cool time regardless of how challenging the situation is. So once again, thank you.